All right, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen, student leaders. It's so exciting to be with you once again. On behalf of Leaders Recognizing Leaders, we're excited tonight to have a student presentation. And tonight's topic is a very timely discussion on the importance of prioritizing your health care, or your health at least, and thinking about it from a perspective of taking care of your health and being sure that you understand that this area is a very critical area in terms of your safety and your care for your mental health, your emotional health, and your physical health. And so tonight we have Kayla Bella with us, and she's going to give us a great presentation. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the discussion.
1 second. Sorry. Okay. Hey guys. My name is Kayla. Just some background on me. I'm a sophomore at Fort Lauderdale High School, and I'm just really passionate about like equality, helping people, businesses, and their philanthropy. So when I get older, I would love to travel around the world, helping people in different communities. So today's topic, I'm just going to be talking about mental health, signs of it, and then things you can do to help yourself. Cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. Okay. So I'm just going to start off with here are just some statistics. And basically, what I want you to get out of this is to know that mental health is a very big issue right now, which I think all of you know. Like, just some of these statistics, 9 in 10 members of Gen Z say that they've had an emotional or physical manifestation of stress, and 74% say that anxiety and depression are major issues among their peers. And I think you guys know this better than anyone. Just looking around to yourself, like your friends, this is something we all are struggling with. So I think this is a really important topic right now. And I just want you to know, like, any feelings that you're having are valid. This is an issue that everybody is going through. So it's not just you or one person. So it's a very widespread issue. Okay, let's see how to change slides. Got it. Okay. So, what are some issues that we're struggling with right now? There's so many to name, but some symptoms of like constant stress that you guys may be feeling is when you feel really unmotivated. So, like, you just want to lay in your bed or watch TikTok or eat some ice cream instead of working, which is something I know I want to do sometimes. When you're always tired, you just feel like you want to sleep instead of doing anything. It's just so hard to convince yourself to work. Or if you're like me and you binge eat when you're stressed out or you're not able to sleep. Like, these are all symptoms that you're stressed right now, and that shouldn't be normal. Like, I know for me personally, part of my story is that both of my sides of my family have struggled with mental health. So this is something I've been dealing with since I was really, really young, and I never realized that this isn't normal. Like, it shouldn't be this hard for us to do things, to start working, to be happy. Like, it should 100% be easier. So, for me, realizing that there was more to life, like, there were things I could do and I didn't have to feel like this, that was a really big realization for me. And some world events, I think you all know better than anybody. The world is crazy right now. It's really hard to be happy, to prioritize your mental health over everything when you have that project due at 11:59 tonight that you need to get done, and when you have so many things going on in your life. So I just want you to know that what you're feeling is valid, is something we're all going through, but these feelings of unmotivation, tired, and then you're not able to sleep, like, this isn't normal. There are things that you can do to help 100%. Okay, so here are some steps you can take. The first one I have is to be kind to yourself. This isn't something that's magically going to happen overnight. This is a fight that you're going to fight for every single day. I know, at least for me, I started my journey a few months ago in the beginning of quarantine, and every day it's been hard. Like, the goal isn't to be perfect one day, it's to be a little better than the day before. That's all you can ask for it to be a little bit easier for you to be happy or to get out of bed or to do that math homework that you have to do. Like, that's the goal. So don't expect magical results. Be kind to yourself because not all days will be good. It's just knowing that yes, you may have a bad day, but there are more good days to come. This doesn't have to define you. You don't need to let things define your life except for what you want. So, okay. The second one is sleep. I don't think I can emphasize this one enough, but just think about it. How are you going to do work? How are you going to put energy into yourself, your mind, your body, if you don't even have enough energy to do normal things like get out of bed? I know for me last year, I was getting like 5 hours, maybe six if I got really lucky, every day at school because I live really far. And I didn't realize it, but looking back, it was so hard for me to do things. Like if it was between doing work or taking a nap, I'd pick nap any day. It was just so hard for me to like walk around and everything. But getting more sleep, that's 100% helped. Like now I have this extra energy to put into myself to make sure I'm okay. So just a little tip, you sleep in like hour and a half increments. So if you do sleep, try to get like 7.5 hours or 9 hours or 10.5. So when you wake up, you feel more rested. Because I know that's something that's helped me, especially with school starting so early. If I know like how to plan it when I wake up, I'm not super tired. So that's a tip you guys should definitely remember. Um, the third one is mindfulness and meditation. I know there's like a lot of stigma around if you do this, then you're weak. Like, this is something really weird, but this is probably the best thing I can advise you because when you meditate or when you're mindful, it's basically just being in control of your thoughts. It's realizing that thoughts are just emotions. I mean, thoughts are just like chemicals that go, but you give them the power. So, what meditation is when you're just observing. Oh, sorry. Meditation is just when you're observing the thoughts that you're having and you decide, do I want to internalize this or do I want this thought to just keep on going? So, like when you're angry or when you're really sad or jealous, all of those are just little chemicals, but you give them the power to have a manifestation on your body. And it's also like permission to feel. Like I said, these are just names, these are just emotions. So it's allowing yourself, like jealousy. Jealousy doesn't have to be a negative thing unless you try to suppress it, and then that's when it becomes bad. But it's just a chemical, it can be perfectly okay. So if you do want to get into mindfulness or meditation, which I would totally recommend, I'd recommend just looking at like guided meditations on YouTube. Like start off with 5 minute, 10 minute, see how you feel. I know after them I feel really light, which is a little bit weird, but everything just seems clearer and happier. So I would totally recommend taking like 10 minutes out of your day to do something for you, like purely for you, and it's going to make a really big difference. The fourth one is setting a schedule. I know this one has helped me a lot because in my mind, I would think, oh my God, I have so many assignments due tonight. And then I wouldn't do any of them because I was procrastinating, which I think a lot of you guys can relate to. But if you didn't know, procrastination is caused by you avoiding negative feelings. So, by writing down exactly what you have to do, if you have this really big assignment, like writing down the step by step what you have to do, it makes it so much easier and you don't have a need to procrastinate. So, if you can see how this all ties in, all of this is with your emotions and power you give them. So, with procrastination, recognizing the emotions that you're feeling and deciding if you want to feel them or not, that can determine if you procrastinate or not. So, just setting the schedule for yourself every day so you know what you need to do and giving yourself breaks. So, like doing an assignment for 20 minutes and then giving yourself a 5 minute break, it really helps you to be more productive and feel better. So the next one is eating habits. So I know this is one I'm still struggling right now. I'm not going to tell you to eat a bunch of vegetables because I don't, but You definitely should because, like I said, studies have found that eating cleaner food can help with depression and anxiety. And it may be hard to see that link, but when you eat good food, like your body feels better, your mind feels better because you're proud of it. And it's just like, this is the body that you're going to be living in for the rest of your life. And everything you do now is going to affect you in 20, 30 years when you're wondering, oh my God, why do I have all these problems? Or why is my body so amazing? It's because of what you do now. So just be kind to your body. Do things now that you'd want to see in yourself in like 20 to 30 years. And it definitely is hard. Like, it's an adjustment, but every day just doing one thing different. Like, I'm not saying go on a diet or anything because stuff like that is unsustainable. Just every day do something a little better for yourself that helps a little bit more, and it'll definitely help you feel better. And then the last thing is therapy. So this is something that's not really talked about in our society for some reason. I don't know why, but having the opportunity to talk to a licensed professional who can help you deal with whatever's happening in your life, I don't know, it sounds pretty good to me. So I think this is definitely a really good option if you do need it and if you have the resources to do it. This is definitely something you should look into because it helps so much. It can make a major difference, and you can learn tools that you can use for the rest of your life on how to deal with your mental health and help yourself become happier. Okay, so I have two quotes for you because I couldn't pick, so I just put them both. So the first one, oh, my Mac's about to die. Okay, the first one is never regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness, bad days give experience, worst days give lessons, and the best days give memories. And the reason why I like this one so much is because it kind of shows that everything happens for a reason. Like, sometimes we can think that the entire world is against us, it's trying to set us up to fail, but if you think about it in the sense that anything bad that happens to you, you learn something from it and something good comes out of it. It's just training yourself to be grateful because life has so many beautiful things to offer if you're able to see it. So just changing your perspective on that, looking for the good in things. I really like this, and it's helped me like get rid of old grudges or whatever that I had, or like confront things that have happened in my life. Because when I was struggling when I was younger, I thought this was the worst thing. And I always thought, how unlucky am I that this happened to me? But looking back, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today if that didn't happen. So I learned a lot of valuable lessons. So just framing it like that, it can help you get over a lot of things that have happened in your life. Okay. The next one is you can't start a new chapter in your life if you keep rereading the last one. I don't know why I love this one so much, but for a lot of my life, like, I couldn't let go of what had happened. I made that my story, like what other people said about me. I internalized that, and I kept on looking back and I couldn't move forward with my life. But when I finally realized that this happened, okay, that's done. That chapter of my life is done. It's time to move on, to get to the next chapter of my life, to dream big and amazing things for myself. And yeah, this one just really helped me because I think a lot of us take in stories of what other people say about us as our own, but your identity is only what you think. It's not what anybody else thinks. And that one's really hard, but you make your own story. So it's not about internalizing what anybody else says, which is why I feel like all of this, oh, you need to do this to be more pleasing to society. I think it's just so dumb because if you're trying to please someone else, you're never going to be good enough. Never in your life will you ever be good enough. But you will if you please yourself. If you do what makes yourself happy, that's the only way you can get to that point of just being good enough. Um, and then one more. Okay, so I just added this in, but what I just recently did, because this week's been really stressful for me, is create a mental health survival kit because I think a lot of us sometimes have good days and we forget that feeling. So, during one of your good days, write down 10 things that you were grateful for, in your life or during that day, just 10 things you're grateful for that make you happy. And how I would do it is I like writing things down as like lists. So maybe make like a pretty poster if you're artistic. Like make it really, really colorful. Just work on this, like spend 30 minutes on this. And then write 20 personal strengths and positive qualities about yourself. I know this seems really hard, like 20 things good about yourself, like what? But maybe every day just writing down two things, just writing down two things. And if you don't believe it in the moment, still write it down because maybe one day you will. So just doing that and then write down your favorite song. So the song that makes you feel happy, it has immaculate vibes, and then write down 10 affirmations. So I think affirmations are literally amazing because how like your brain works, if any of you guys have taken psychology, is things that you keep on telling yourself like in the top of your mind, I guess, you internalize all of it. So if you keep on telling yourself like positive things, then that's what you're going to start to believe. You can tell yourself that you're the hottest person on the earth, and then you're going to start to believe it after a while. So just doing these affirmations to help build your confidence. You can look up affirmations and pick your favorite ones, just writing it down, and then put a link to a guided meditation. So all of this survival kit, this is something you can look back to when you're stressed. Because I know yesterday I was really stressed out, but then I started looking. So when I'm happy, like I write it down, like in my notes, I write down how I'm feeling, all the good things, so that when I'm stressed, I can look back at it and remind myself that there is a lot more to life than what we're in this moment. Like it's possible to be happy. So yeah, just creating this kit that you can look back on. Okay. So that's it. And the final thing I just want to leave you with, if you take one thing from this, is just take it one step at a time. It's not easy, but it's 100% worth it. And just take one piece of advice every day. Try to do one thing for yourself, like purely for yourself, and know your why. Like know why you're doing this. I realized that why I'm doing this. It's gonna sound a little bit dumb, but it was for the little girl, I guess, inside of me before anything happened in my life. The little girl who just like wanted to smile, run around, do crazy things. Like I'm doing it for her because she deserves to be happy. And every day I become a little bit better. I become a little closer to her. So I just remind myself of that every time I'm stressed, and yeah, knowing my why helps me center. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you all for listening.
Wow. Thank you so much, Kayla, for that amazing presentation today. It is definitely a timely discussion. It is needed. It's a timely discussion. It is needed, and it is definitely one that I am sure everyone in this room can appreciate, just because there's so many challenges that young Gen Zs are experiencing right now. There's so many obstacles. There's so many moments of just grief and sadness, and this is definitely a discussion that is really needed, right? And so I'm very proud to know that you decided to present on this topic. And it is definitely one that can inspire others to be able to consider seeking out a therapist, as you have suggested, thinking about ways that you can empower yourself through just quality time of allowing yourself to take enough sleep, right? So we definitely need to make sure that we go through your checklist, finding a great song that you can sing that can motivate you and that can inspire you. I actually love that that point of, you know, pulling up your top 10 songs. So I just have some songs that I not only walk around and sing and jump up and dance, but it just excites me and it takes me out of the little funk mood that I may sometimes be in. And so tonight we're going to open it up. If there's any questions, anyone would like to ask Kayla a particular question on her presentation. And so if you are here, you can just unmute yourself and then you can ask a question.
It's not really a question. I just want to say that was very amazing because I really needed that. I was going through that today.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I was going through it today too, and then I started to read my presentation, and I was like, okay.
Thank you so much for that, Dewell. And anyone else would like to share any comments, any feedback on the discussion today? You're more than welcome to unmute yourself and please share with Kayla. This was great. Well, I would say this, that we definitely know for a fact that persons who are watching this will definitely benefit from it. And even if you cannot think about a particular question at this time, you're more than welcome to watch the replay. For anyone who's watching the replay after this, please drop a few comments on our social media platforms, as this will be shared amongst many spaces. And again, Kayla, what is the one reason why you felt that it was so critical for you to make sure that you put this particular topic together?
Yeah, so I feel like after watching previous people's presentations about like how to deal with online school, I feel like this is a very prominent issue right now, especially with people our age. And mental health is something that's not talked about nearly enough as it should be in school and just society as general. And I feel like if young people were to have this education on how to deal with their emotions, like the world could be a much better place.
Most definitely. We recently had an election, and that was just filled with so many other tensions, emotions, and challenges. And you all are watching. You all are paying close attention. And I must say that Gen Z Speak Up was just an amazing platform that we utilized here at Leaders Recognizing Leaders. So, with that being said, I just want to say thank you again for this discussion. I'm certain that everyone had an opportunity to enjoy it, and we look forward to future presentations. And thank you again, Kayla, for your great discussion and plethora of knowledge and information. Thank you all so much for your participation. We look forward to having you again for our next talk.